Welcome to Mojave River Valley News. I'm your host, Eric Swanson, and we're out here in Apple Valley at the Hilltop Tavern and Inn. This is a great place for bands, and tonight we have a band that's just amazing. It's Strange Days, which is a Doors tribute band, and you know what? There's some real history behind this band, so stick around, we'll be right back. All right, Kenny, go ahead and start us off.
Hey, I'm Ken Rayburn, owner of the Hilltop Tavern and Inn, and I'd like to introduce my host here, Eric Swanson, and we're here at Dead on the Hilltop, our annual music festival, and we'd like to introduce our Doors tribute band today, Strange Days. They just put on a great show for us, and they've played here a couple of times because we just really like them, and they're a great fit for our festival. So. I'll give it over to Eric Swanson.
So how many times have you guys played here now?
This is our third time.
Third time, man. You guys are vets here now. You know. So
the charm.
you know, maybe you can go through. Let's introduce each of you so everybody knows who you are.
I'm Robert Carsten, guitar player.
Okay.
Jason TOSTA, vocals.
I'm Alexis Angel, keyboards.
Now, where did you find the equipment? That was my first question up there. Those are antiques. Those are classics.
Yes, they look like the classics. The bass rig is actually his. He did himself, and the bottom organ is something that we found, and we were able to rig up to make it work.
That was amazing, because one of the things I saw from this, it's like, I mean, a lot of times a tribute band said, what kind of things do we need to do to make you feel the full experience? And when I saw you sitting up there going, man, you sold me already. You know, I was already sold on this. So let's come back here to who started the band. I guess you started it?
I started the band.
Okay. And what drove you to do that? I mean, it's a great catalog of music. It's an amazing catalog of music.
Well, I played music for a long time, and then I switched to being a sound engineer.
Uh-huh.
And I had the amazing opportunity to do sound for Ray and Robby of the Doors when they got back together.
Oh, no kidding.
They did
Nice.
a thing called The Doors
Nice.
of the 21st Century with Ian Astbury from the Cult as Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
So I traveled with Ray and Robby for 5 years.
Oh, my
and
gosh,
got
that's
to know
some history.
Robby real well and watched him play quite a bit. And at some point in that time, you know, as a crew band, we were learning their songs to set up the stage and get everything right. And I joined, the drum tech was in a band, and I joined that band. So for a little while here and there, I was playing with another band, and then I decided I want to build a better band, because the Doors, there's a very big sliding scale in Doors tribute bands. A lot of them, the Jim dresses up and looks the part, but the other guys don't bother. They just look like themselves. They even have bass players sometimes. They don't play the rig, like you were just talking to him about the keyboard rig. They just play an A-frame stand with 80s keyboards, and it's just wrong. So my thing when I started this band, I wanted to make it more like Led Zeppelin in a band that do it right. They do it with the replica gear, they dress up the part, and the whole band does it. And I ultimately wanted a band of guys who would stay in the band, not to where every week you'd see a different guy. There'd be a time in the other band where I'd play and go, oh, we're so glad it's you. Last time I came, it was the other guy, and so I wanted to make sure that it was the same four guys, so people who come and see us could get the feeling that we are a band. Even down to the way we advertise ourselves. It's not just a picture of the Jim Morrison, it's a picture of the band. You know, so, and that's the thing I'm the most proud of about this band. He's been with us, you know, we've all been doing this for a long time. You know you're going to get the same four guys every time you see us. You know when you see us, you're going to go, even before we hit the stage, you're going to go, look at the gear, look at that keyboard rig. You know, it looks the part. It's not like some guitarist playing a purple Tom Anderson, you know, strap-looking guitar. It's the gear. It's the right gear. So that's...
Well, you know what? Thank you guys. Thank you guys for going down to those details. I mean, you've got the pants.
Yeah, we've seen better days, but
yeah. So, and even what you have, I mean, this is just fits. And you know, one of the things I loved is the way that you portrayed playing the keyboard. I could have sworn.
Put his head down.
Yeah, I mean that's the way
Yeah,
you.
you really got to get into it.
That's it. That is the frame of watching The Doors.
We have to look at it like we're in a play, not just that we're playing music, because we're pretending to be other people.
I'm just acting.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, this is how detailed we get. I actually had somebody cut octagonal Ray Manzarek glasses that are, he doesn't wear glasses, so they're just glass. But,
I noticed that.
But he
I
has
thought
the
that. I
he
wasn't
has
sure.
The glasses like Ray. That's how close we got.
I thought that was what it was.
You caught me.
You're too young to need glasses.
So yeah, it's fun to get that deep into it, you know. To just,
So let's come back to the roots of what, because you know this kind of music. I'm sorry, it's tough. You're not going to make $1 bazillion doing this stuff. You know, it pays some bills. It's nice money coming in. There's something more that makes you guys do it, and that comes from here. That's what I want to get into next. Where are your roots to music, and what drove you there? I mean, what's the underneath, the real deep?
He has a great thing he says on some shows, the shtick of saying, we're here to save music. You know, we're here against a curse called modern music. We're here to, you know, give you know it better than me.
well, it's just basically that like the music nowadays just doesn't have that soul, and I think a lot of the kids, they don't. It's not out there like what we do. This older music, it's on the radio, but even the radio is kind of an old thing. So I've had a lot of people come and say, "Wow, I haven't thought about the Doors in 20 years," or
Right.
or this kid was I didn't even know. That's really what it's about. It's about hopefully they'll go out and put down the new modern thing and get back to what was good.
Well, yeah, and that's so where did you start with music? I mean,
I
as
started
a
playing
kid,
guitar when
or
I was 13, but
Yeah.
I have a brother and sister 10 and 16 years older. So even though I was very young, I watched the Beatles on Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
I know about, you know, Hendrix when I was just a little kid. When I was in first grade, I used to bring Beatle albums to school, and at the end of the day, I'd say to the teacher, play this, put this on.
Yeah.
So I've been a part of that 60s thing. I was born in 62, so I'm a little young to be a part of it because of my brother and sister. My sister used to sit on the bed in like a, you know, like a meditation pose listening to
Yes.
Ravi Shankar.
Yes. Oh,
And
yes,
the lights
yes,
go
yes.
around. So I mean,
yeah,
and
the lights. That's right. The lights going around the room in
and
circles,
when she bought the White Album, you really got like photo paper pictures of the Beatles. It wasn't like what they do later where they just make it like lithograph runoffs. It was the real deal. So I was there, you know, experiencing it through two people 10 and 16 years older than me. So I've always loved classic rock. You know,
So you've always played the guitar, or
since I was 13.
so any other instruments, or just
At home, I have a studio, so I record. I play a little bit of keyboard,
Yes.
bass, program drums.
Uh-huh.
But to play live, I'm a guitar player.
so? Have you instruments, just vocals, or what's?
Oh, yeah, well, I
plays
play
guitar.
Plays
some-
everything.
Play some guitar, but
But
mostly vocals.
it's hard to. That's not the role you're playing, because there was no guitar up there. There was just him up there.
It's just screaming
Yes.
and
You know, so I'm doing. I'm holding on to the microphone stand like you were.
yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of the Doors since I was 7. So, and I stole my mom's LA Woman album, and I just kept it. And she didn't know what happened to it. I
That's
just
cool.
Took it and
That
kept
is
it.
nice.
And I used to go in the bathroom and like sing like the songs, like the bathroom echo, like, you know, like when they recorded it, and I just used to love it. So I never thought about anything like this until I met Robert, but I'm so glad.
So
you know.
what was your first instrument, or
It was guitar.
guitar?
Yeah, so that was when I was about 11.
Yeah.
And it's fun just kind of sing along, and then I was like, well, the voice isn't so great, but after I played a little bit with the guitar, I'm like, got better, you know?
Yeah.
Stay in tune. But yeah, I've enjoyed doing this so much, and coming and playing things like this is fantastic.
So where did you dive into the keys?
A keyboard was always part of me, as part of my dad actually. His idea was, I'm the oldest out of the 3. His idea was one of you guys are gonna learn how to play, and that's the way it's gonna go. Really.
You are going to take those piano lessons if you like it or not.
No, well, here's the best part. I didn't get piano lessons. I got piano lessons from him. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
Was that tough to learn from your dad, or?
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's.
It's always tough to learn. It's always tough to learn something from a parent. Trust me, I've gone through that with my kids sometimes. And
Well, yeah, it was a lot of that. And, I mean, he started me off on guitar, but he told me to stop because my fingers were too small. So he started on keyboards, and that went on for a while. And and then I picked up a guitar again, and just both those instruments were my strongest, I think.
See, to me, having the guitar is something that, I mean, to me, it's the only instrument that you can take anywhere. We can sit there on that stump and play the guitar, and you guys all do that. You know, it's like, it's something that you can, it's almost a personal thing when you have it with you, you know.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, okay, you're right, you're right.
All right,
Okay,
all right.
but how long are you going to do that through the whole night? And to the point, yeah. You know, so.
Hey, the drum circle's coming.
You know, it was interesting, the last band we interviewed, it was like, everybody played drums. And there was only, what, one or two that started from the guitar.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty interesting. So tell me about, so I understand what you guys have done with the road. Now tell me, with the pandemic, are you guys right now rolling? Everything's fine with you guys now, or everything's?
Slow start. We're coming back. I mean, we're doing shows, but they're definitely slow going right now. Not up to speed where we were before.
Right.
We are like a band that likes to be with the crowd, take pictures, hang out afterwards.
Right.
This has been a little rough because some of the venues aren't so, they don't want you to do that.
Right.
You know, so it's changed. It's a little bit, and I think some of the people don't understand that, so it's a little bit challenging to be like, it's just kind of how it is right now. We're not being mean.
Some venues get mad at us because we tend to walk off the front of the stage rather than go backstage after.
I like it.
We
I like it.
We always used to have cards, and we'd meet people and give out cards and take pictures with people.
That's one of the funnest things about doing this is meeting everybody.
See, and that's one of the things that Kenny and
I'll vouch for that.
we've been trying to do with these interviews is like, because Kenny's bringing these great bands in. I mean, you guys are an awesome set to come in here, you know, but a lot of people don't understand it. It's not something, okay, I'm here to perform, all right, time to go home. No, there's more into that. And I can see everybody we've been interviewing, you're here because it comes from here. And that's one of the things I think a lot of folks don't understand. They say, oh, it's just entertainment.
Well, like you said,
No,
we're all
there's
we're all
love
trying
for
to
this.
save the music.
That's right, that's right.
It's all about the music. And last year when the pandemic started, it was like the day the music, like Alice's Restaurant song. It was like the day the music died. That's
you
how
know what? You're right on that, Kenny. Yeah.
That's how I felt. And the more people I talked to had the same. It's like, but what about the music?
Right.
The media wasn't even talking about it, you know. Oh yeah, the shows are canceled, but they never really got into what about the music and what that does to our soul and how it helps our immune system, for God's sake.
Exactly.
Let's talk about, because we talked about a little before the camera came on, about, because one of the things I see, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, you know, to me, tribute bands, it's like what you guys are doing. You're acting the part, you're playing the part, you're there to make people, when they get through, they just saw the doors, right? I mean, and where if you're doing a cover band, like what my band does, it's like we can orchestrate. Talk to me a little bit where you guys are always trying to tighten that. I mean, you continue listening, or what do you guys do to make sure that being a tribute band stays very, very tight to the music?
Almost the opposite of what you're saying. What we try to do is digest all the music studio and then listen to all the bootlegs. And then without him telling us which version of the end we're going to do, we have to listen to his voice, which is very much what the Doors did with Jim. And he takes us where we're going. Like
Right.
they did a 1970 version of the end where they went into a thing called the Black Train song, a snippet of it. So depending on what he does, we all have to watch each other.
Right.
So we make it fun by not sticking strictly to that. The other thing, as I said, I work with the Doors, so I know what Robby does today. He puts in little bits of Eleanor Rigby in his solos and my favorite things.
Yes.
So I'm not doing something I think he might do. I watched him do it for 5 years. So we add that to it as well. And we've even had a guy who hires us says, I want the Philadelphia version from 1970 of when the music's
I love it.
And if we don't remember, we go back at home and we listen to that version and we take note of, okay, this happens at that point. And that's what keeps it fresh for us. It makes, you know, because one of the things they say about the Doors is the danger. There is no danger in just eating it up and spitting it back out the same.
Right.
So there is a little bit of warble where we get to, you know, it's not us, but it's us interpreting them differently each time.
Well, the reason I brought that up, because I watched you up there, and you were tight with the drummer, and you were tight. I was watching it. Every move you were making you were just making sure that it synced all together. I was watching you do that. And that's the reason I brought that up, because I could see what you're trying to do is saying, all right, where do we need to be at that moment here to show people what we have? So
Another
Yeah,
thing,
it's messy. It's basically that's my job is to screw with them.
I
So I'll
love it.
screw around with them, and we'll have fun that way.
but
so
if you think about it, that's what Jim did with them.
Yeah.
The real deal was they had to listen to where he was. They really had to focus on him. They couldn't leave that.
But we
because-
don't do anything. Like it's like 2 or 3 versions, so we still stays tight. Because
Yes.
they got a little loose sometimes. But it's fun that way, and it's always fun when you do something over and over again to like you dig deep
Yeah.
and kind of sift through it, and that's why people I think come and check us out multiple times, because you don't always get the same
Yeah.
thing. So
Well, I thank you guys very much for sharing with us, and I know you guys got to hit the road here, but I just, this is what we were trying to find out, and you guys just hit it on the button with this little few moments you spent with us, because those are the things that we want to see. We want to understand, that's what Kenny's trying to do here. This is not just performances, boom, boom, job, job, job. He's trying to make this family here, and that's where I've come in to help him, saying let's make sure we can make this happen. So anyway, Kenny, close her up.
Well, thank you, Eric, and you've helped us tremendously here at the Hilltop Tavern and Inn. So, guys, here you just had another chapter in our story, and we hope you come out and see us one day. If you haven't been out here to the Hilltop Tavern, then you need a little food for your soul. So, see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.